Welcome to this channel, guys, and today we're going to be talking about your first Honda build. So more often than not, you're going to be looking at a Civic and saying they're all looking identical, but some trims throughout the years between the EG chassis, you're going to look at all of them and say that they are the same. The only difference that you're going to tell is the fact that one's a hatchback, one's a coupe, and one's a sedan. In this video, we are going to be talking about the 90s Honda Civic. We're going to be talking about the trims. We're going to be talking about the engine options. We're going to be talking about the transmission options and the features these trims come with. So why is it that Civics are still sought after and popular even to this day? Well, it's a lightweight chassis. It's very user-friendly. The drivetrains are durable, especially if you take care of them, and it has a massive aftermarket support. Civics are basically one of the most customizable and moddable cars that you can get. Trust me. And then on top of that, the parts are cheap. You can still find parts on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, the junkyard, Advanced Auto, even Honda still be able to supply you with parts, particular parts. Not all of them, but some. And you may be able to go ahead and find a couple people selling Honda parts, whether they're parts imported from Japan or some that people are trying to sell used. Nonetheless, you can find parts anywhere. So let's go ahead and get into the video talking about the 5th gen Honda Civic from 1992 to 1995, known as the EG chassis, or for both the EG and the EH chassis. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to go ahead and call it the EG chassis. The first trim that we're going to talk about is the Civic CX trim. It came with a 1.5 liter D15 V8 engine with an output of 70 horsepower, non-VTEC. It had a compression of 9.2 to 1. It came in a 5-speed manual and a 4-speed automatic. It had a weight of 2,150 pounds. The features manual doors and locks. Some, they didn't come with AC, and they had steel wheels. And they also had the optional side view mirror on the passenger side. Yes, you heard me right. Optional means that you would either have to purchase the second mirror or you would have to buy a higher trim to get that put on. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was kind of goofy, the fact that this car only came with one side mirror. But hey, you can't get lighter than that when you're just taking not only the AC, but you're also taking the side view mirror. But hey, I guess that's how it was back in the day. Moving right along, we're going to be talking about the DX trim. DX trim came in a hatchback, a coupe, and a sedan. The engine was a 1.5 liter D15 V7, and you had the option of a D15 V8. The horsepower was 102 horsepower with a compression of 9.2 to 9.3 to 1 compression ratio. You had the option of a 5-speed manual and a 4-speed automatic. The weight of 2,300 to 2,400 pounds, depending on the body style that you decided. The features: manual doors and locks, power steering. Why does it matter? Just a little bit heavier than the CX. So it's still a decent choice, especially if you're looking about weight, but you want power steering. I would say that this is a decent choice for in trim if you're looking to go ahead in a long-term plan to swap the engine or whatever in performance enhancing mods that you want. Moving right along, we're going to be talking about the Civic LX. It's the heavier one of the group. It has the same drivetrain as the DX. It came in a 5-speed manual, which was rare, and a 4-speed automatic. Being the heaviest one at 2,500 pounds. Features include power windows and locks, cruise control, and AC standard, which is kind of weird for me to say, being the fact that everything has AC. But nonetheless, back then, I guess that was optional. Now, personally for me, if I had to do anything about changing anything about the LX, is probably getting rid of that front bumper. I do not like that front bumper. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it. Now, if we put the coupe front end on it, then yeah, we're getting somewhere. But that's just a personal taste of mine. Now, moving on to the next trim, and this is my favorite, the EX trim. This one came with a 1.6 liter D16 Z6 VTEC engine with a power output of 125 horsepower and a compression ratio of 9.2 to 1 and a weight of 2,450 pounds. Features include power everything, power locks, power windows, power steering. It has cruise control and it has better interior. So why does this one matter? It is basically the SI. The only difference is the SI for the EG only came in a hatchback form. not a coupe or a sedan. But if you want an SI or have the power of an SI, you would get an EX. You also get a sunroof with the EX as well. And to be honest with you, based on how I see things, I think that the EX is probably the best way to go. And I can say from my experience that the EX is still my favorite. I'd even probably take it over an SI. And I will explain that later in this video. Now, the big dog, the Civic Si. It has the same engine as the EX, the 1.6 liter D16Z6. It only came in a 5-speed manual, a weight of 2,300. Features include rear spoiler, front and rear thicker sway bars, 4-wheel disc brakes, power moonroof, cruise control, and a sportier interior. Why it matters? Well, this is the top of the line. Most people like top of the line. I'm not going to lie to you. I am one of those. But however, the prices that some of these people are putting on these cars, not everybody's a collector. Not everybody is willing to go ahead and shovel out $8,000 to $10,000 and then go ahead and say, I know what I have. Yes, we also know what you have, a Civic. So, but again, my opinion. And this goes without saying, please find a good, healthy running. I don't care if you have to check the compression. Please go with somebody that knows these cars like the back of their hand, or Hondas in general, or cars in general. Please do not get swindled by some tweaker telling you that it's a classic and want to charge you $12,000 for a car that's barely running and have the nerve to look at you in the face and telling you that they know what they have. Apparently not. Please, sir. Please, sir. Admit yourself into the nearest rehab. It's getting out of control. Your mother's worried about you. My thoughts are that the best trims for a beginner to start out on are the CX, EX, and the DX. Personally, if you were to ask me, the best one to start out on is the EX. However, in the regards of the SI, if you can find a decent example, good, strong running one for a decent and well-made price, I would say get that and jump on that deal, because it'll be a while before you find another one. I'm not going to be the one to tell you what you should be paying for them. However, people within your community who are very integrated into the Honda community will tell you how much you should pay for one. That's why I said, if you're going to go look, go ahead and go with somebody that knows more than you. That is the best starting point. Well, I'm glad I can go ahead and educate you on the different trims and engines, transmissions from these different trims through the years from 1992 to 1995 as we reach the end of the video, and I will see you guys on the next time. And remember, build light, build simple, build smart, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, take care.